Welcome to today's deep dive. So we are jumping straight into a scenario that, on paper anyway, completely defies the fundamental economics of higher education.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Right. Like imagine getting a formally accredited European master's degree for about 1% of the cost of a traditional university.
Which sounds completely insane.
It does. And you're doing this entirely through spatial computing and AI without ever leaving your living room.
I mean, it immediately triggers a healthy dose of skepticism, right? When you hear 1% of the cost and virtual master's degree in the exact same sentence, your instinct is to just assume it's some sort of diploma mill.
Exactly. But the documentation we're analyzing today points to a massive structural shift. And that is really our mission for this deep dive.
Right, we're looking at a huge announcement.
Yeah, for March 16, 2026. It's a formal academic partnership between EON Reality, specifically their AI Ventures division, and the European-based University for Business and Technology, or UBT for short.
And we need to unpack how they're merging, cutting-edge extended reality and AI with traditional formal academic accreditation. Because historically, those two worlds have operated in complete silos.
Right, the tech companies build the delivery systems, and universities hold the monopoly on the actual degrees.
Exactly.
To put this into perspective for you, think of digital education over the last decade, like a highly advanced flight simulator.
Okay, I like that analogy.
Yeah, so for years, platforms had the incredible tech to teach you how to fly. You could master the digital cockpit, run every emergency protocol, all of it.
But you couldn't get a pilot's license.
Right, no matter how flawless the simulation was, the software company couldn't hand you an actual license. You were just an incredibly capable operator without
Without the paperwork to prove it to the airlines.
Exactly. So today's deep dive is about the exact moment that digital flight simulator finally starts printing real, universally recognized licenses.
And that is the perfect framework. Because EON Reality isn't just some startup that spun up overnight, right? They already had the massive infrastructure.
25 years of it, actually.
Right, 25 years of leadership in this space. We're talking 136 million downloads and over 4,400 institutional customers.
Across more than 80 countries, they had the world-class content and the scale ready to go.
Yes, the missing link was always that formal validation, which is exactly the gap this announcement closes.
So let's look at the mechanics of this. How does this actually work for you if you log on to the EON Global Virtual Campus today?
Well, you're looking at a massive library. 9,000 courses.
Yeah, across 17 future-focused industry segments. AI, XR, cybersecurity, healthcare, manufacturing, you name it.
And the big shift is that students can now elect to receive UBT-accredited credentials.
Right, at 4 distinct tiers. Course certificates, professional diplomas, full bachelor's degrees.
And master's degrees, co-issued through UBT's graduate school. And it's worth noting those professional diplomas are aligned with the European Bologna process, which is a huge deal.
Okay, let's unpack this, because my skeptical brain is flashing red lights right now.
I figured it would.
The sources say this credential add-on is available for just a 25% premium above the standard course fee. Is this just another corporate digital badge dressed up as a degree?
It's a completely fair question.
How does paying a tiny premium instantly translate into a real university qualification? Do I just click through a VR module and a master's degree pops out?
No, it's not a transactional workaround at all. This is a full, rigorous academic framework.
Walk me through that.
So UBT provides the actual faculty validation and credential issuance, while EON handles the content and the global distribution.
And they share the revenue from that 25% premium.
Exactly. What's fascinating here is that this isn't just a certificate of completion. It's a structural merging of a tech platform scale with a university's actual grading process.
But how does a professor in Europe grade my spatial awareness in a virtual manufacturing module?
Well, the AI is doing the heavy lifting there. It actively tracks your decision-making, your error rates, time to completion, all that behavioral telemetry.
So it formats that data against an academic rubric.
Right. And then UBT faculty are the ones who review, validate, and sign off on that rubric. They hold the institutional authority.
Okay, that makes total sense. But that leads us to the next hurdle. A degree is honestly only as valuable as the institution behind it.
Absolutely.
So why UBT? My immediate fear was that this was just a digital pop-up school created specifically for this partnership.
Oh, not at all. UBT is very real and highly established. They have physical campuses in Vienna, Budapest, Tirana, and Pristina.
Yeah, with over 15,000 active
Yeah.
students and a 98% graduate employment rate, which is just wild.
It really shows industry trust. Plus, their accreditations are rock solid. They're recognized by the British Accreditation Council.
Which is the UK's leading quality assurance body. And they're EFQM Excellence 5-star and ISO 9001 certified. Plus, like you mentioned, that Bologna process alignment.
Right, which means their degrees are transferable to over 500 universities in the EU and the USA. It's frictionless.
But here is the specific ranking that shows why this matchmaking is so clever. According to the WURI rankings, UBT is ranked number 6 in the world for fourth industrialization and industry innovation.
Number 6 globally. It's an incredibly specific and powerful synergy.
Right. EON's 9,000 courses are built for industrial and innovation sectors, and UBT is literally ranked 6th globally for that exact space.
It's brilliant. UBT's rector and founder, Professor Dr. Edmond Hadrizi, actually noted that their mission is to bring European academic standards to places traditional universities just can't reach.
The idea that knowledge validation shouldn't be constrained by physical borders.
Exactly. It's a philosophical imperative for them, as much as a technological one.
Which brings us to the global impact.
Yeah.
We know the mechanics and the legitimacy, but why does this matter on a global scale?
Well, it rewrites the economics of education entirely. Like we said at the start, it's roughly 1% of the cost of a traditional degree.
And Dan Lajerskar, EON CEO, was very explicit about the transformational impact this has on the Global South.
Yeah, he points out that a student in Nigeria, India, or Saudi Arabia can now access credentials recognized across all those EU and US institutions.
It's incredible. And for governments or ministries, this is a ready-made infrastructure. They can deploy workforce training without spending billions on physical universities.
They just plug into the platform and their citizens get upskilled instantly.
Okay, here's where it gets really interesting.
Let's hear it.
If a government can just use EON's platform for European accredited degrees, what happens to the developing world's local educational infrastructure?
It's a valid concern. You'd think they'd just be bypassed entirely.
Right, are they just rendered obsolete by this digital juggernaut?
Well, if we connect this to the bigger picture, it's actually the opposite. Academic institutions in these markets can activate this option platform-wide.
Oh, so they become enterprise partners.
Exactly. It becomes a competitive advantage. Local schools can offer dual credentials. You attend your local university, but use EON modules for your labs and graduate with both degrees.
So instead of being disrupted, they're empowered to offer international accreditation.
Yeah, it elevates the local institutions. They don't get left behind at all.
That is a phenomenal safety valve.
Mhm.
So bringing this deep dive to a close, the core takeaway is pretty clear.
The walls have officially fallen.
Totally. The barrier between cutting-edge tech platforms and elite, formal academic accreditation is gone. World-class XR and AI content is now permanently paired with globally recognized bachelor's and master's degrees.
And it's accessible anywhere at a fraction of the traditional cost.
Which leaves us with a pretty wild final question to ponder.
Yeah, it really changes the landscape. If anyone in the world can earn an accredited master's degree in fields like AI or healthcare for 1% of the cost via a virtual platform.
Right. What is the future of the traditional physical university campus?
Exactly. Will sprawling physical universities eventually just become luxury experiences reserved only for the elite?
While the vast majority of the global workforce learns and earns their credentials entirely in the virtual campus, it is definitely something for you to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.